Hi, welcome to Introduction to Calligraphy. I am Dori Azar and I am going to be your instructor for this course. Now, I happen to be the actual creator of the calligraphy framework, which is a framework that is built for the PHP language, and it uses the SQL language as a database language through MySQL mainly. Now, I might be using a lot of jargon, and a lot of terms and references throughout this first session, but everything will become clearer as we go through the different lectures. I will make sure in this course that you will have a basic understanding of what PHP is as a language, and you will learn, to use it. You will also learn to use MySQL and all these concepts that I will be mentioning throughout the course, such as what a server is, what a framework is, what an MVC framework is, what calligraphy is, will all get clearer as we go throughout the course. Now, when you registered for the course, you probably received a welcome message along with an invite to this page that you're seeing on the screen right now. And this page will really be where most of the references for the course will be. So any code that we will write together throughout the videos will be available to you on GitHub, which might be another jargon term if you have not used any programming language in the past. But we will explain what GitHub is in the next couple of lectures. So most of the code will be here on GitHub. Anything that we do in the videos will be published there, as well as all the leave behind material, all the references, all the articles that I will be pointing out to during this class will also be available to you on GitHub. Now, GitHub is free for you to use. We will get at a certain point to the lecture where we dig further into what GitHub is and how you could open your account on GitHub. If you already have an account, you are free and more than welcome to go and check out the material for calligraphy on there. It is free, it's public, you can access it at any point in time. Now, the lectures and the course itself is really where the value is. All these videos that you're going to be looking at are proprietary, and you can only access them through Udemy at this stage of the game. So you will get a lot of great examples on how to use PHP, how to use MySQL, and how to use calligraphy, and how to create your first application. And it's only available to you from the moment you register to Udemy. All the videos that are posted with the lectures are practical examples. Okay, I will be doing some coding live with you. Of course, the sources for the code will be available to you to check later on, but you at least throughout the videos you will get the chance to see live how the code will behave, and most importantly to understand some basic concepts about the framework, which are not necessarily available in the articles that I will be sharing with you. Okay, so with that said, if we go and dig further into the GitHub material, the reference material, and by the way, under this video and in each and every lecture, you will be referenced to one of these articles that are within the page that we're looking at right now. Throughout the course, just to go very quickly, through what you're going to be learning in the next 17 or 18 lectures in there. We are going to do a highlight on the PHP language. We're going to learn some basic PHP syntax. We are also going to learn some basic MySQL statement writing. You are gonna use GitHub a lot in this course, as a main repository where you are going to be putting your code. We'll get further into this later on. We are also going to show you how you can create a local environment, and this is only if you have not created any code in the past with either PHP or MySQL. Then in that case, these sections might be of interest to you, because we're going to show you how you can create your own server locally on your machine. We are also obviously going to talk a lot about calligraphy in the second part of the course, and the main concepts that are really part of any framework. But we are going to show you how calligraphy handles these concepts. So you're going to learn a lot about things like routing. You're going to learn a lot about what a model is, what a view is, what a controller is, which is basically what an MVC framework stands for. It's the M, the V, and the C. The M stands for model, the V stands for view, and the C stands for controller. And that is what calligraphy is based on. So you're going to learn a lot about that. You're going to learn a lot about how to create HTML templates, but not by programming in HTML, but rather we are going to use a calligraphy engine, a third-party engine that we use, and it's called the Pug language. The Pug language helps you build HTML on the server side of things, and it's a good language to create templates with. We'll dig further into it when we get to the second part of this course. We're gonna learn how we can create models that mirror our database in calligraphy, and how to establish relationships among the different tables that we create. We are gonna learn how to do social sharing with calligraphy, and most specifically, how you can share your application on either this Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any social network. We're gonna see how we can have a registration page or a login page within your application, and how to do authentication with calligraphy. We are also going to see how we could create APIs to interface with the database without having to go through a graphical user interface. We are going to show you how you can very quickly create payment gateways with this framework. And some other powerful features I might say that are needed in any transactional application or transactional web application today. Now you might ask yourself, do I have the requirements or the prerequisite to take such a course? The course is really organized and structured in a way that is very progressive, okay? So if you do not have any programming development in the past, this course might feel a little bit hard for you. I'm not gonna deny that. So we do at least require that you have some basic understanding of programming, okay? And what do I mean by basic understanding of programming? If you at least have some programming experience in any language, and most importantly, any either web language or any object-oriented language. So if you've done HTML and CSS in the past, you might appreciate this course. If you have done any other project-oriented programming, such as Java or C or C++ mainly, then and you want to get into web programming, then this is a great course for you. If you've used other web programming in the past, client-side programming in the past, such as Python or JavaScript, but on the server side, again, this might be a very interesting course for you as well. So whether you are a beginner in development, or whether you are an advanced programmer, an advanced PHP programmer in particular, and you've used other frameworks such as Laravel or Symfony or Cake PHP, again, this might be a great course for you, because calligraphy is new. Calligraphy is yet another framework such as Laravel and the others, except that it's simpler. It's simpler in a way that it's more lightweight, it's easier, and it's meant for building quick applications and not necessarily heavy lifting applications that maybe Laravel and Cake PHP or Symfony are more appropriate to use in that case. Again, calligraphy is a very lightweight, it's easy, and it's very quick to learn and to start using. It has a lot of powerful capabilities, despite the fact that it's light and easy, but it's programmed in a way to get you up and running quickly, and help you build quick applications in a faster way. Okay, so with that in mind, let's take a look a little bit at what's ahead of us in this course. So really, the course is organized in three big parts. Okay, the first part I call it the getting started kind of part, and it's just to get you up to speed on the big notions that are needed in this course. Okay, in order for you to start using calligraphy in an efficient manner. We definitely need you to understand and to use effectively the command line or a shell application. We want you to effectively start using Git. We want you to have an environment that has a PHP, MySQL, and an Apache on your machine. We need you to have like a basic understanding of the syntax of PHP and a basic understanding of the syntax of MySQL. Okay, this is what the whole first part is about, and it's organized in 5 different lectures that would cover any of these topics that I just mentioned. The second part of the course, as well as the third, are really around calligraphy as the framework, and we're going to do a deep dive on calligraphy. The second part is mainly going to help you get started on installing it, understanding the structure of it, on understanding the basic concepts of the framework, so things like routing, like requests, like controllers, like models, like the views, and then in the same part we are going to start looking at how we can create dynamic forms and validating them, as well as how we could do authentication with calligraphy. The third part of the course is also around calligraphy, and it's by the way, it's almost the last part of the course. It's also around calligraphy, but it's going to focus more on all those powerful capabilities that calligraphy offers you out of the box, which might be more difficult to do in any other framework. So things like how to create structured data so that your application can be shared in a seamless way with other social networks, such as Facebook and so on. So we're going to show you that, how you can reference your application in a way that search engines like Google can actually read it and fetch it faster. We are also going to show you how we could link with services like Google Analytics in order for you to get more accurate data about the usage on your application. in this part as well, we're going to look at payments, payment gateways, and how calligraphy integrates beautifully with Stripe in particular. So we'll talk about this when we get to the lecture. And also, unlike other frameworks, we are going to show you how calligraphy is very well suited to accept cryptocurrency payments as well. And we'll end the lecture in by showing you how we can also create APIs automatically with calligraphy in a very seamless way. We are also going to touch upon what progressive web applications are and how calligraphy can help you achieve and have a progressive web application out of the box, which is a great topic moving into the future. In my opinion, at least, progressive web applications are this new type of applications that is entirely based on web programming, really. And it doesn't need an app store, whether it's a Google from the Google Play Store or from the Apple App Store. Your application doesn't need to be on these platforms. It's all written in HTML, CSS, and frameworks such as Calligraphy, but it runs natively on the phone. So it's a great concept to explore, and we are going to show you and touch upon it a little bit in this course. The last part is really wrapping up. So any final thoughts that we have either about the framework or about web programming in the general sense, we will try and cover them in this last lecture. With that in mind, so these are the lecture. Every lecture will have a video and a set of references with it. These references can either be articles that you can always check on. It can be some external references that the course relies on. For you to complete in order to be able to understand the next lecture better. So we really advise you to look at all the references that are provided. Some other references can be videos taken directly from the calligraphy documentation, which I happen to be the author of them as well. So the voice will not change for you in these other videos. Okay. One probably last thing to mention, so we have 4 parts, a total of maybe 17 lectures. Now in between lectures or in between sections, we might ask, or we might have some quizzes to do. These quizzes are not meant to assess your you as as people, but rather to assess your understanding of certain concepts. These should be very quick quizzes, okay? They are usually 5 to 10 questions, and they are very focused on making sure that you understand the concepts and the main concepts that you need in order for you to progress in this course. If for whatever reason you are not able to answer correctly the quizzes, that means you need to take another stab at the previous lectures and make sure you have a good understanding of these concepts before you proceed. We also have assignments, which we might have 1 per section, maybe 2 per part, per part of this course. So you might end up having probably somewhere around 3 and 6 assignments. These assignments are not meant to be delivered really or graded. They are really meant to make sure that that you've accomplished the tasks that are needed again for you to progress in this course. So for example, the first part is all about making sure that you have an environment that is set up and that is capable of reading PHP code, and most importantly that's going to be able to to run Calligraphy. And there is an assignment around this, just to make sure that you've done the setup properly. Otherwise, you might hit some blockers when you go further into the course. All right, so I think this kind of covers a little bit what I had to talk about today. The next lecture is going to be the real official lecture, and it's going to be around understanding what a shell application is and what Git is, and we are going to show you how you can have this ready to use on your computers. With that, I wish you a very good day, and I hope to see you in the next lecture.